Well, we're working with Claydon very closely, and we're looking at the soil health and the soil biology, the microbial activity. And our product Soil, what it does is it feeds the fungi and bacteria, which helps the worm population goes up, and that helps the whole system.
We're bringing together a whole load of different technologies. So we've got the Omnia system, which can map soil organic matters, and so we can relate that to the differences we're going to make with Soil. They survey every 4 years, so we're going to compare what they did before to the situation once the trial's finished. We've got the cultivations. In terms of soil wildlife, if you like, they've got almost an optimal system here with the Claydon machinery. We can tip it just a little bit further, get a little bit more of a benefit from using products like Soil to make sure that the soil fauna can really develop and be there ready when the plants need it. So we put an autumn application of 10 litres and then spring applications of either 1 or 2 5-litre sprays, split more or less according to crop growth stage. So the first one will go on round about crop growth stage 30, second one about 32. We still want to have some soil to hit. We're not trying to do a foliar feed, we're trying to hit the soil. The idea is to make sure that we're promoting the bacterial and fungal growth all the way through the crop growth period if we can. So we're going to be applying over the whole field. What we're doing is making sure that the bacteria, the fungi and the worms that are present can come up into an area where there's lots of food, reproduce, increase the soil organic matter. These places, the columns and the fissures and so on, they act more or less as the reservoir of the bacteria and the worms, safe place for them to live. We feed them on the top and they can go up, encourage their growth and then start to pull in all the stubble, break that down and help increase the soil organic matter in that fashion.
Worms are a critical part of keeping this soil functioning. Getting roots down through the soil, getting water down through the soil, oxygen into the soil and gas exchange actually. Oxygen into the soil, carbon dioxide out of the soil. That's equally important that we have that gas exchange.
The worm count here on the Claydon farm is something between 19 to 50 per metre squared, which is quite a high level. So it's quite important for us to do something here and see if we can increase that by feeding it, because already after 23 years of cultivations, the Claydon system's got a high level of worms. But if you keep on increasing them, it increases the friability of the soil, you can reduce your fuel, it's easier to plant, you can walk on it in the winter, you can drive it on in the winter, and the porosity increases, so therefore the water infiltration increases. Very important to work with people like Claydon and others in this similar situation because we're all talking the same language. You know, we're all talking about soil health, fungi, bacteria, worms, microbial activity, and what that brings to the table. For a long time now, what we've been doing is been throwing synthetic nitrogen 50, 60 years into the system. We've been abusing the soils. We've had soil erosion, we've had floods, we've had droughts, we've had all these situations. And all this can be overcome. And it can all be overcome by the right type of chemistry, the right system, the cover crops, feeding the underground livestock. There's a great saving to be made. And we're looking at the moment on Claydon, which has got a high population of worms, been 23 years minimum cultivation. We're looking at still increasing the yield by percentages, double figure percentages. And that's because the tillers have increased, because the Soil is feeding the microbes, the fungi, the bacteria, which are feeding the worms, and the worms are doing a great job of helping spread out the nutrients, and the crops are taking them up. So Soil is the one to look at.